Welcome, Helge, to the podcast. You've had a long and distinguished career at the top of global energy and pharmaceutical companies. As chair of BP, one of the world's largest energy companies, you have an opportunity to make a tangible impact on helping the world move to a lower carbon future. And I'm looking forward to exploring how you're balancing the needs of providing secure and affordable energy to your customers, driving positive change for the planet, and delivering long-term value for your shareholders. Three very big missions there.
Sustainable growth is about having a positive impact for the long term, for business and for society. I think part of a sustainability thinking is also how do you lift organizations' capability and competence level, and even generations coming at a higher competence level than our generation had, and in that sense we increase the society's capacity actually to solve problems.
I like that, capacity. It is about capacity to solve problems in a different way. So BP has a prominent role to play in the energy transition, and that's against a backdrop of challenging geopolitical and economic environment. I'd like to understand about how you're embracing that challenge, and especially when you think about sort of access and equality.
The energy transition is a transition, it's not a disruption. It will take place over many decades. I want people to think about and reflect on the fact that we have built the current energy systems over like 150 years. So to give you a few numbers, I think now we're producing in the world around or consuming around 100 million barrels per day of oil, and it's growing. I think we're consuming 4 trillion cubic meters of gas, 8 billion tons of coal, and on top of that, renewables in different shapes and forms. And again, this took like 150 years to build, and now we need to change that system in hopefully a few decades. So it's a formidable task, and not one company can do it alone. We need to define an energy system that balances affordability and emissions and security of supply. Our major challenge and opportunity is to play a positive role in moving towards a low carbon energy system. Business is critically important to solve the energy transition. BP we all think that leadership today is more complex than 20 years back, and it probably is, but I guess 20 years back they said the same about the history. But with all the changes on the geopolitical arena, technology, I mean, we spoke about it. Navigating these companies are increasingly complex, and it's hard, and it also poses a lot of uncertainty on organizations. So I think the starting point for me in leadership is about an absolute commitment to integrity, to drive trust, because in all this uncertainty and change, I think people would like to trust their leaders, and they will not follow you unless they can see that you have integrity. I think also if they trust you, you can also challenge harder, because they know that you are not challenging them as individuals or persons, but the subject, the issue, to make sure that we improve. So I think that's one area that I think we need to continue to look for and search for. The other one is, of course, in all this information, noise, everything's going on, people that can simplify, create context, set direction for what we're doing, also set performance standards, because leadership is not about caretaking, it's about taking the organization to a new level. And then ultimately, in many ways, I think this is a lot about passion for people. Why do you want to become a leader unless you really like to work with people? And if the strategy is clear, if the performance standards are clear, you can actually empower your people and also make them accountable for delivering. So I think those are some of the key areas to look for in modern leadership.
I think you've quite nicely described how you inspire followership. The integrity and the trust people have in you, the context and simplification rather than just task orientated, and your passion for people. Yeah, why would you want to be a leader if you don't want to lead and inspire followership? Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Bina.